Hey guys, John Rettinger for Techno Buffalo here. January is a fantastic month for geeks. It's when we get to see all the gadgets and gizmos that are going to be coming out this year, and this January is no exception. As CES gets into sort of high gear, there's also a developers conference that goes on in Vegas, and this year Ralph de la Vega, the CEO and president of AT&T Mobility, gave a keynote speech where he revealed a lot of cool AT&T details that I thought I'd share with you. I'm an AT&T customer, the iPhone is my daily driver, so this affects me and what phone I might use, so thought you guys may be interested as well. First, he announced that AT&T is going to be carrying two WebOS devices. And for those of you that are wondering, WebOS is the operating system that powers the Palm Pre and the Palm Pixie. It's the new OS that's been developed by Palm. It's been around for about 8 months, a little bit less than that. But it really is a fantastic operating system. In my review of the Pre and the Pixie, I raved about it. I think its multitasking and card interface is second to none. Its app store is growing, and I think it's got a lot of potential. It utilizes multi-touch, probably second only to the iPhone. It really has just a ton of potential, so I'm very excited about it. So I'm really looking forward to what AT&T is going to be doing with WebOS. They did not give any phone details, but it'll lead one to probably think that we'll be seeing a sequel to the Pre, launched on AT&T, a Pre 2, or a prequel, or a sequel, who knows what they're going to call it, but it should probably have that same form factor. As far as the other WebOS device, your guess is as good as mine. And probably the more hyped announcement was that AT&T is finally joining the Open Handset Alliance, which means that they will be carrying Android devices. As it stands now, AT&T is the only major US carrier to not be offering any Android devices. So now we'll be seeing upwards of 5 released in the earlier part of 2010. They gave a little bit of detail of what we're going to see. They said we're going to see a device from Motorola with a unique form factor, which probably would be the backflip that we've seen rumored. It's got a typical Android touchscreen device with a keyboard that sort of flips out from the back, running Motorola's Blur, which we've seen on the Moto Click. It's a custom skin on top of Android, which is very social networking friendly. We're also going to see a custom device built just for AT&T by HTC. HTC is probably one of the biggest manufacturers of Android devices. They made the original G1, they made the MyTouch, the Nexus One are all manufactured by HTC. Certainly have a reputation for building quality devices, so curious to see what they come out with. Next, we're going to see the Dell Mini 3i, or Mini 3 depending on what they call it. It's really Dell's first foray into the smartphone market. We've seen it released in China earlier in the year. It's going to be coming to AT&T. It's sort of a middle-of-the-road handset. It's got a 3.5-inch display with a 640 by 360 resolution. It's got a 3-megapixel camera and, of course, micro SD expansion and GPS and all that other stuff you'd expect from a modern smartphone, especially a modern smartphone running Android. So you can tell that I'm very excited about the possibility of Android and WebOS being on AT&T. I think it's going to be fun to actually try phones that I might actually use on a daily basis. The phones I test, I have to use for a week or 2 weeks, then send back. These I'll actually be able to test using my own SIM card as my daily driver for weeks and months. I think it's going to be quite fun. So are you excited about WebOS or Android? And if you are, which one are you looking forward to more? WebOS phone or an Android phone? Me personally, I'm looking forward to WebOS. But certainly as a personal preference. So leave comments or a video response. I'm really curious to what you guys think. Anyway, I'm John Rettinger for Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.